Have you ever felt like your big dreams are just slipping away? You want to achieve something great, maybe learn a new skill, get in shape, or start a business? You're fired up, ready to go, but then nothing happens. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and that initial spark just fades. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Most of us fall into the same trap. We believe that to get amazing results, we need to take massive, earth-shattering action. We wait for that one perfect moment, that one big opportunity to change everything. But waiting is the enemy of progress. But the truth is, success isn't about giant leaps. It's about taking small, consistent steps day after day. It's about the magic of improving just 1% every single day. Let me tell you a story about a young man named Ahmed. Ahmed was full of ambition. He had a long list of goals. He wanted to learn to code, get fit, read more books, and even learn a new language. So, he decided to do it all at once. He set his alarm for 5 a.m., planned to hit the gym for 2 hours, study coding for 3 hours, and read a whole chapter of a book, all before starting his day job. The first day was tough, but he pushed through. The second day was even harder. By the third day, he was completely exhausted. He snoozed his alarm, skipped the gym, and couldn't even look at his coding books. He felt like a total failure. He thought, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not good enough. This cycle of trying to change everything overnight and then crashing and burning is something many of us experience. We overestimate what we can do in a day, but drastically underestimate what we can achieve over a year. Feeling defeated, Ahmed went to visit his wise old grandfather, explained his grand plans and how miserably he had failed. His grandfather listened patiently, then led him to a dusty old wooden chair in the corner of his workshop. The chair was faded and covered in scratches, a shadow of its former beauty. His grandfather handed him a piece of sandpaper and a soft cloth. He said, "Son, life is a lot like this old chair. Can't restore it in a single day with one frantic effort. You try to sand it all down at once, you'll just tire yourself out and probably damage the wood. But if you spend just a little time each day, gently polishing one small spot with patient, consistent strokes, you will slowly bring back its shine. Day by day, the scratches will fade, the wood will glow, and eventually, the whole chair will look brand new." Your goals are the same. Don't try to transform your life overnight. Just focus on making one small part of it a little better each day. That advice changed Ahmed's entire perspective. He decided to forget about his all-or-nothing approach and embrace the 1% rule. Instead of trying to become a coding expert overnight, he committed to just 15 minutes of studying each day. Instead of forcing himself through a brutal tower workout, he started with just 5 push-ups. Instead of trying to read a whole book in a week, he decided to learn just 5 new vocabulary words in the language he wanted to master. These actions felt almost ridiculously small. What could 5 push-ups possibly accomplish? But he stuck with it. After a week, 5 push-ups felt easy, so he increased it to 10. His 15 minutes of coding turned into 20, then 30. His vocabulary grew, 5 words at a time. At first, the changes were invisible. He didn't suddenly look different in the mirror. He wasn't building complex apps after a month. But something else was happening. He wasn't quitting. Every day he met his small goal, he felt a tiny sense of victory. This small win built his confidence. He started to see himself as someone who follows through, someone who keeps his promises to himself. This shift in identity was more powerful than any single workout or study session. Over time, these tiny improvements started to compound. His daily push-ups built strength, and soon he was doing full workouts. His daily coding practice built a solid foundation, and complex problems started to make sense. The 5 words a day added up to hundreds, then thousands, and he could actually start having basic conversations. He was no longer the person who just dreamed. He was the person who did. He was polishing his life, one small stroke at a time, and it was beginning to shine. Now, let's talk about the math behind this, because it's truly mind-blowing. Improving by 1% every day seems insignificant, right? It feels like nothing. But let's look at the power of compounding. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you won't be 365% better. Because each day's improvement builds on the last, the growth is exponential. At the end of 1 year, you will be nearly 37 times better than when you started. Think about that. 37 times better. On the flip side, what happens if you get 1% worse each day? If you let your skills slide, skip your practice, or make slightly poorer choices, by the end of the year, that compounding effect works against you, and your abilities will wither away to almost nothing. This is the critical lesson. Success is not about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not about the one heroic effort you make, but about the small, repeatable actions you take every single day. These tiny habits are like the individual drops of water that over time can carve a canyon, build an unstoppable momentum. So, how can you apply this to your own life, starting right now? It's simple. Forget about grand sweeping changes. Forget about the perfect plan. Just ask yourself this one question. What is one small thing I can do today to be 1% better? Don't overthink it. It could be reading one page of a book. It could be doing 1 minute of stretching. It could be writing one sentence for that project you've been putting off. It could be choosing water over a sugary drink. The action itself is less important than the act of starting and the consistency of repeating it. The goal is to build a winning streak, no matter how small the wins are. Each day you follow through, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. You're building evidence that you are a learner, a doer, a finisher. Greatness is not a destination you arrive at one day. Greatness is built daily in the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make. It's built 1% at a time. So what's your 1% for today? Don't wait. Pick one thing, no matter how small, and do it right now. The journey to becoming 37 times better starts with a single step. Start polishing your chair. Start building your momentum. Start today. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more tips on building a better life, one small step at a time.